How's it going, Mint? Happy Monday. Or Tuesday for you. How are you doing? Also, how's the audio level? I think it's fine, right? Just woke up. Ooh. Perfection. Sleepy Mint. Double the fun. Spearmint gum. Something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. That doesn't make any sense. Pretty good. You know, kind of excited to get back into this game. I was really enjoying all of Friday's play session, and yeah, just vibing, kind of chilling, you know, doing good. Poor Mint with the ads. Womp womp. Ooh. Womp womp. Womp womp. Are you back? Did you finish the ads, Mint? Yep, okay. Well, see, those are the first 5 minutes ads for when people usually aren't here. So, you know, you had to suffer through them so that the rest of our friends don't. Kawaii. I thought it was kind of interesting that Twitch announced that they're basically integrating clips into a quasi TikTok feed. Yet another idea that they're ripping off. Scary movie ads? Oh, wait, is there a new scary movie? Oh, I assume you actually mean an actual scary movie, not movie scary movie. Insidious. I don't remember which one that is, but I know that I saw it. I went to a movie this weekend, and I saw the wildest ad in ages. It was like, it's one of those movies where they have animals, like real life animals, but they talk. But not in the way that like the live action Lion King is, where they're like CGI but supposed to look real. They're like actual animals that they basically do like lip flaps for. And it's like this dog that his owner doesn't love him and keeps trying to get rid of him, but because he's a stupid dog, he doesn't understand that that's what's happening. And he gets left in the city and meets all these other dogs. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a pretty normal, you know, movie plot. And while he's talking to these other dogs, they convince him that his owner didn't love him and was abandoning him. And so he's like, I'm gonna bite his dick off. And they're like, hey, yo, what? And he's like, I'm gonna go find him. I'm gonna bite his dick off. And then they basically have a thug montage of these dogs going to ruin this human's life. Hi, Velveta, welcome in. Great time to show up. I'm talking about the wildest ad I saw for a movie about dogs. where like they're angry that they were abandoned, which I mean, fair. I was totally in shock though. That's basically the expression I had in the movie theater, because it was like I hadn't heard of this movie at all, and so we like start it. So it's like an adult comedy about dogs. Yeah. I know, right? Oh shit. Anyway, how are you doing this evening, Velveta? How was your weekend?
That it? Fine.
Yeah, I kind of want to go look up like what the name of that dog movie is. Dog movie. Fight. Okay, the headline is from Escapist, and it says, Strays trailer is homeward bound, but to bite the owner's dick. You scared yourself silly playing Amnesia? Oh, well, hopefully you've recovered. I don't really play horror games. I don't know. I'm not necessarily against it, but I also kind of feel like that's not really the vibe of the streams that I normally do. Hall of Memories, what the fuck is this? It's just like trophies? Anyway, I just haven't really played too many, but I would be willing to do a collab one, because people love them multiplayer games. So what kind of game is Amnesia? That's a single player one, right? It's like a story based one. It's not one of the like team up Scooby-Doo horror type ones. Oh yeah, that's right, the charity goal. Got him. Sorry, not sorry. Stray horrors. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, Phasmo and Demonologist are the two that I see people like talking about the most. And I've seen some people play Phasmo. But it's definitely one of those games I would have to play with somebody who knows what they're doing and likes playing it, because I probably wouldn't play it on my own.
Victor sent his thanks.
I doubt Kupka will miss the fools he sent to catch me. Not a single one of the bearers we saved showed any interest in coming with us. No one seems keen to join hands with an outlaw. Any news while we were away?
None worth mentioning. Gav's still off keeping an eye on the Republican army. Should be back
Now,
any
if
day
you
now.
missed the last stream, we've had a large time jump of, I think it was 3 years, but it might have been 5 years, which is after the first large time jump that we had.
Still can't work that one out.
So we're adult Clive plus several more years. It's 5? Okay, see? Mint knows. Mint knows what's up.
This is where she's chosen.
That 5 years for that light stubble.
I'm sure she has her reasons.
My man. Do you just remember that, Mint, or are you watching other people play this game also? This is all in good time. It's definitely not a quest board. You remember what a queen. And he does. He's doing good. I mean, really, we don't know. We can't compare him to Sid yet, because Sid was the definition of aging like fine wine. Because my God, that man in his gravelly voice, right? Yeah. It's the power of youth. What can I say? I've already lost the access to those memory banks. They're degrading. I need to upgrade them with SSDs. SSDs nuts. Sorry, still 12 somehow. But
I trust I'm not intruding.
Back from your mission? I'm beginning to think your habit of surviving cannot be attributed to luck alone.
Sid is out of this world, truly. Next level Riz. It's just...
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life, and none was especially memorable.
Just incredible.
So, to what do I owe the honor? Could it be that you've come for one of my lessons?
Is that so hard to believe?
Very
Yes.
well then.
Maybe.
Shall
Sort
we
of.
start with the state of the realm? To absolutely no one's surprise, she finds herself at the mercy of...
Let's do some active time lore here. Vivian Ninetails? Boy, that is an edgy name, but I'm here for it. I don't know why, but I've always liked V names, especially for women. Vivian, Victoria, Valerie. Like them all. Scholar strategist who makes her home in the hideaway, analyzing every shred of information, comes from the world in order to divine very hot Velveta. Yeah, that's right. He might be better to understand. The moniker Ninetails, of which she herself is fond, was gifted by her fellow scholars in recognition of her ability to speak at length on almost any subject. Oh my god, she's like me, for real, for real. It's true. It's true.
Armies and outlaws.
That's just facts. Mint knows.
Well, mostly
Mint's
armies.
backing me up.
Though that's not for want of trying, is it, Clive? But the real question is, how did we get here?
Oh, we got cutscene on backstory? Let's go.
Long though Sambrek's dominion over northeastern Storm has endured,
Yeah, Mint's pogging.
recent days have seen the Blight wrest ever more land from her grasp. For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly for every blade of grass bent beneath Sambrequois boots.
Sambrequois.
No wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline dominion.
Not me
An
pretending like I
altogether
can
easier
speak a vaguely
target to
French-sounding
possess
word.
of No less ether. It was 5 years ago, while you were busying yourself with the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move.
Now, are you guys able to hear the
Cultivating its theretofore
narration
neutral
volume
neighbor.
okay? Or should I turn up
Nation
the
which
game a
could
little bit?
legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly, there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans.
For you, it's
the
good? Okay.
twins. The non-aggression treaty
Just a
was the only
skosh?
thing
Okay.
keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation, it is only a matter of time before others reply in kind. The Holy Empire, the Dalmekian Republic, the Kingdom of Waloed, and of course, our friends in Yaran. Who will be left standing, I wonder, when the last drop of blood is spilled?
Fair, fair.
You were born in Twinside.
I also have pretty
Do
high
not
quality
feel your
headphones.
home.
The real question is like the
Oh,
audio balance,
dark
right?
clouds
Because
are
like
worked
even if you
together
can hear
over
the
the
game,
moon.
if
Yet
you
is
have to like
fighting
jack it
at
up
all.
to hear the
She has
game,
ever
then I'm
enjoyed.
just like
And when
fucking
the storm has
siege
passed,
engine of
I am
volume.
confident she will remain. Now, as to the matter of payment for today's lesson, complete a simple errand for me and we shall consider ourselves even.
Even.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not the end of the
Return
world
this
though,
volume
because
to
like
old tomes in the shelves. Tell him it was...
I do have all of my audio
Adequate.
separated out, so I can make like
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to visit our
I
resident
can
historian.
change the volume that I hear with system volume without it affecting the volume that you hear on stream. So I can sort of tweak it so that it's not too loud for myself, which is, I think, a problem that a lot of people have when they're using just system out, which is, of course, way easier to just use system volume, but it does end up in like weird situations where you're blowing your own ears out. So, you know, that's why you gotta rely on chat a little bit to tell you to turn the game up or down a little bit, because we're not hearing the same
Oarsmen
things.
are
We're not the same.
properties.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine.
Yeah.
Welcome home, Clive. You
I really
were
like
missed,
that this guy,
as always.
when
you talk to him
I believe
normally,
this belongs to you.
you get a little like pixel art
Vivian
Final
asked me
Fantasy
to
VI
return it.
style animation of the characters. It's nice. It's a nice touch.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. But I could do the same.
Love me some
But
lemon
alas,
tarts.
I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts.
Oh,
That
tarts.
said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head. But without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion...
Don't worry, we'll burn them all down.
Find little
Wait,
and less. I am
tots.
sorry.
Yeah, chat. What kind of desserts do you guys like? Assuming that you don't hate all desserts on in general. Are you more chocolate fans? Are you fruity fans? Are you like sweet or sour?
In the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many
Chocolate.
in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
What kind of chocolate though? Do you like chocolate cake? You want
Not
like
too tired to
chocolate
go filching Kubo nuts,
sauce,
though. He's got a
brownies,
pocket for him.
hot
Knocks him
lava
off the
cake?
Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogle.
Kiri, welcome in. You fucking little Kusagaki winning that competition that I wanted.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss
Kiri,
of
what kind of
parents
dessert do you
weighs
like?
heavy on them.
That's what we're talking about right now. We're
However
talking
well
about
they hide
desserts.
it, Titan took much from us that night. From some more than others. And the wounds that remain, they are not quick to heal.
You like
Which is why we must give
Oreo?
them more
Oh,
time,
that's
maybe.
strong. That's a good mix. Good mix.
That we must. Just as I must give you the
I think
time
my
you need to
ultimate favorite
recuperate.
is either lemon
Good
or
day.
lime, especially key lime
Good day.
things. So like tarts or like
Gav will
if
be
it's a
back
cake,
soon.
my favorite kind of cake is
I
lemon
should get
cake.
some rest while I can.
If there's like a fruit filling, I like the lemon filling. I like the sort of sour and sweet combo. That's that's such a little sister answer.
Not
It's
bad
so
a blink,
fucking
and
good.
you're already
Ew,
off solving
lemon.
everyone's problems. It looks good.
Have you ever had lemon desserts?
Goes well with the
It's
scone.
totally different than like
I had
lemon
that
lemon.
bread for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
But
This guy
yeah,
did
Kiri,
most of the work.
that or Kiri,
Ah,
depending on
before
how
I
you want to
forget,
pronounce it.
A rider was here with a
God
letter
damn,
from
this
Gav.
chick's
Otto
beautiful.
left it on your desk.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Stolus.
The artist that did
I'll have a look.
that's gonna do
Then you
your
get some rest.
microphone asset did the backgrounds for my new backgrounds
What could
that
Gav
are
have
not
thought worthy
not
of a
publicly
letter?
on display yet. Yeah.
Once the hall's swept, it's over to the tavern.
I've had some yuzu, but mostly in like alcohol. I don't think I've ever had like a yuzu dessert. Also yuzu, I've had like yuzu soy sauce. Yuzu dessert. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'll have to make sure that I try some out. I'm sure we can find some around here. We have a lot of like Asian markets and restaurants. I actually went out to a Japanese grill today for lunch, a Japanese barbecue, and had deep fried taiyaki with ice cream. It was so good. Yeah, you little brat. I can't believe you've done this. No, it's fine. I'll just throw some money her way. Is that really quote worthy though? Like, oh, it's so good. Maybe I should make that a voice redeem.
What does Gav have?
Oh, just general,
Republican army is on the march.
just general
leaving
Grybach
Mandalay and Hugo Kukus
moaning
in
about
charge.
food. Ugh.
With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
A little bit sus, but nice listen. I feel like that
It's
describes my
marvelous.
entire personality.
This is our
Moaning
chance.
food content.
The
That's
one
right.
We've been waiting for.
I put the bang in mukbang.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years.
5
If I
long
could only
years.
command this power, I've been
Exactly.
perfect. We might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid.
True.
Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
I'm still waiting to see her
Every
dark
burden I
secret.
cannot
Like,
bear falls to you.
I low-key think that she might have been a
This
plant
mission of
all
ours has
along.
made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear.
That's okay, Kitty. Thank you for
Crystals
stopping
take more
by,
than they
even though
give.
I'm a little jealous that you won my contest. It
In
was
exchange for
mine. It
momentary
belonged to
comfort,
me. No,
we
but
must endure a
thank
lifetime
you.
of pain,
And we should
war
definitely
after
play
war,
some
loss upon loss.
play some more FPSs together. That stream
now?
was extremely fun. So have a
Now
good
they
night's
rob
sleep.
us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash.
Yeah, the tension is
But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
yeah, like the odds that this little girl, meaning her when you were kids,
he was there.
also being the
wasn't
icon
an
of
illusion.
ice or the dominant of ice of Shiva,
I heard him call out.
just like happening to be
Ultima.
in with your family, especially given that your family was involved in like political machinations. She keeps
If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that.
she keeps looking like there's something that she regrets and can't confess to. And like I
Do you think he will ever come back?
will not be surprised at all if we learn
know
that
she
she
will.
like
And we must be ready
was
when he does.
also like low-key a spy when we were kids. Yeah. We shall. Let's go. Cheers.
To a world without mother crystals.
Boy, she doesn't seem to like that.
To Sid.
Nice cloth texture. Damn. Damn. I know. Classic Final Fantasy style. Yeah, I mean, like, we've known each other in some way or another for, like, most of our lives, apparently.
So the North is lost.
But she's got some, like, dark secret that she doesn't want to talk about,
that the
and we
blight
were
spread
separated
evermore
for
swiftly, Your
10
Grace.
years or something like that.
This is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more.
Okay, so he's still up and walking. Fascinating.
The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother.
Oh, yeah.
It's in vain.
I mean, that's true too. That's true too. Listen. Never trust an NPC. Or two.
Master Clive, a moment if you...
Also, I gotta make sure that I like power through this game because I'm really excited to play Baldur's Gate 3, which comes out in a month.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak
Plus,
freely,
like-
Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway,
It's a side quest, isn't it?
I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Yeah. Like the one, so I only stream 3 days a week because I have recurring social commitments on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then like I theoretically could do it on Saturdays,
Martha, leave the rest.
but like I really want to avoid burnout, so I really try to like schedule my stuff so that it's very maintainable. But like the problem is that makes it really hard when I'm like doing things like collabs that I also love doing. Then it's like, okay, well, there's like a third of the streams I was gonna do that week, and then, which does not, to be clear, does not mean that I don't want to do collabs. I absolutely would prefer to do a collab over not. But when I'm doing a long game like this that has like a lot of story content, oh, look at me, I just took the elevator completely pointlessly. Anyway, When I'm doing a long game like this, it's like, it could take like literally months if I'm limited to only like a couple times a week, but like it's a self-imposed limitation, so it's just, it is what it is. But I'm definitely the type of gamer that likes to finish games. I don't have like a huge list of games that I started and never finished. I finish almost every game that I play as long as I don't bounce off of it in like one sitting. And then it gets like really easy to get behind on games that are like, that I know that I want to play that are new if I start getting like sidetracked. So it's a little bit of a pickle, but you know, a fun one to have, I guess.
Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
She's a traitor.
Of course it bloody was.
Just like everyone else.
Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip around the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's
Evocative.
ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
A couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn.
Curse
They should
breakers,
speed up the search. But if this is as bad...
We're gonna get a active time lore. I continue to love the fact that they put this in. A unit drawn from those of fighting age and martial training among the residents of the Hideaway who conduct operations to liberate bearers from slavery, beginning as a loose collection of like-minded individuals in Sid's Hideaway who chose to rid themselves of their bearer brands that they might serve the cause out in the field. The Order has greatly expanded both its ranks and its operations since the move to Benamir, all under Otto's watchful eye. Okay.
As I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
No.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
New quest available nearby. All in good time, you little bastard. All right, what do we got here? Got... Right, okay. So this
Here
is
for
our...
another of my lectures.
You the state of the realm. Ask about Vivian.
My beloved homeland.
Okay, so this one's just not voice acted. All right, and Mother Crystal yields more shards than any others, and its lands even remain untouched by the blight. It's a
Or
blessed
at
touch of
least
feet.
it was.
Emperor Sylvester had designs on the Dominion, but to abandon Oriflamme, the seat of the Holy Empire since its inception, seemed too audacious even for him. Yeah, so it's like he's got something deeper at play.
I admit.
The professors. I think it's really odd, by the way. I've always found it odd when games literally just voice like the first two words in a sentence. Like it just ends up weird. Maybe they just acknowledge that everybody skips it anyway, but I for a moment think that they would one day count Sid the Outlaw among my pupils, but nor did I imagine that my fellow educators would have designs on my life, and we both know how that ended. Has it been a year already? Such is the peril of an overly inquisitive mind, I suppose. One is wont to uncover that which others would go to the great lengths to ensure remained hidden. Gotta save them dollary dues, that's right, Velveta. Were it not for you and our mutual friend having come to the rescue, my curiosity would have likely proved fatal. But instead I was not only saved, but granted a new lease on life as personal tutor to a band of outlaws, no less.
A far more reputable fellowship.
Than anything in the academic world, I assure you. It's got a nice little, like, neck detailing thing.
One would think.
That my role was abundantly clear by now. I for you and yours the guiding light of knowledge. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yada, yada, yada. All right, I don't need to actually read the part.
What is it that you wish to learn?
By speaking with Vivian in the hideaway map room, Clive can view the state of the realm and learn more about the current goings-on as well as Thea, revisit any of the Ninetales past lessons, or take a deeper look at the relationships of those individuals in Clive's orbit. Okay. Huh.
I have the details here.
Any detailed visualization of character relationships in Final Fantasy 16 that updates as you progress through the main scenario. Use R1 and L1 to cycle through the pivotal milestones in Clive's adventure. Oh, and it's on a timeline? Yo. This is really cool, but also a lot. Like, this is a lot. Look at this. What the fuck? Okay, all right, hold on. Oh my god, all right. I know. Okay. First Shield of Rosaria. Firstborn son, ruler of Rosaria, expected him to inherit the Phoenix's flames and awaken as a dominant. Destiny instead chose his younger brother in search of his... Okay, so still just like the normal lore... Ah, okay, so then down here is the timeline for, like, as time has changed. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah. The thinking, indeed. Yeah, okay. Oh, Ambrosia. I love that they have my friggin' Chocobo steed in here, and she died in the prologue, basically. Or did she? Okay, so what is this like? Ah, so the areas around the circle are the different kingdoms. Man. Somebody had fun with this data visualization. Never forget, exactly.
One must understand one's place in the world.
A detailed map and past events, sure, okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck? This is the type of thing that I wish I had the patience and wherewithal to, like, actually study and make insightful comments about. I've always, whenever I watch Let's Players play games, like, I think the most interesting ones, sometimes it's a little boring content, but, like, the ones that are really good at reading this kind of information and drawing interesting conclusions about it, that you then get to watch play out in the, you know, the rest of the game. But that's not me. This is too much. This is honestly, like, way too much to be... for to be useful for me. It's wild that they put this much effort into these visualizations. I mean, it's cool, but wow. All right.
Very good.
Fascinating.
If you need volunteers, just say the word.
Huh. So we ended up seeing Road Trip, or Joyride, sorry, not Road Trip, Joyride this weekend, which was very fun. I've been a little burned out of a lot of, like, sequel movies. It's not even it's 10th level Galaxy Brain. I know, right? Yeah, I've been a little, like, burned out of all the sequel movies that have been happening lately, and so it was fun to just see, like, a new IP comedy movie, and it was quite fun. I mean, it was silly, and, you know, they could have pushed it a little bit farther in some ways, but it was a fun, dumb movie. Don't think I actually want those. Let's get those.
You're rubbing me blind,
Yeah,
you know.
okay, perfect.
Is that all?
Yeah, I definitely was surprised by a few of the turns, which is always something that I appreciate in a movie when it can manage to be... I love that they have friggin' recipes at the bar all the time. It's so bafflingly, like, such a weird detail. Anyway, I love it when a movie manages to surprise me, but in a way that makes sense and holds up to scrutiny on multiple viewings. Because it shows both that the writers of the movie are aware of the tropes and can subvert them, but do so in a way that also makes sense rather than just doing it to be edgy. Whereas on the other hand, a movie that has twists, but the twists don't actually stand up to any scrutiny is like the type of movie that actually annoys me, because I usually feel like that the first time watching it too. So anyway, it was a fun movie though. A lot of laughs. Very I'm maybe not more raucous than I was expecting, given that it's a friggin' like Seth Rogen is involved in the production, but there was definitely a few scenes that I would like open mouth gasp at and laughed my ass off. So
everything's roses.
The lake water doesn't agree with it then.
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we do in the atrium, that slurry will keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts.
well, it's back to the lemon tarts again. These things must be good if everybody's talking about them.
Moon or so, assuming we had any pitch, which we don't.
Not any bloody more.
Bloody more.
How many gries out of 10 for the movie?
More than a dozen runs left in him.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you the answer, but give you a little bit of a disclaimer here.
Of course,
I'm gonna say
your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland.
a 7.5.
Without it, we'd be lost.
But
Well, I'm
that's
glad
way
someone
better than
around
it
here
sounds,
sees it that way.
because
To make
I
pitch,
actually
you need
grade
pitch
movies
trees.
on like
But in case you haven't noticed,
not on the US
live
grading system.
trees are one of the
So
thousand things
basically
sorely lacking in
5
their
is
deadlands.
average for in the
Well, not so
Greibach
kind
grading
as to ask
scale.
you to fell a far away
5 is
from
average,
us to lug the
4
logs
is
back here to the
a little
meter,
below average,
which is
6
why
is a
we'll
little
be
above
needing a
average, or
suitable
as I like to call it,
alternative.
fine,
It just
with
so
like
happens
quotation
I
marks.
once
It's
heard the
fine.
thorny pitchers of
Like, it's not
curltail
good,
falls
but it's
cover
fine.
themselves in a sticky
7
wax
is good.
to trap birds and
8
bees
is
and
great, 9 is incredible, and 10
enough
is
to
like
tide me
perfect,
over.
which basically there's very,
Sounds
very,
easier than
very
felling
few
a
10 out of
faraway
10s for me.
forest. That's for certain.
It's modeled after the My Anime List ranking system that because that's basically the labels that they apply on their out of 10 system. So my Anime List ranking chart is also graded on that curve. So a 7.5 is like pretty good, to be honest. Yeah. But I also know that most people will see that and be like, oh, that's terrible. Like, nah, it's like, you know, I would rate it above a lot of the movies in this latest phase of the Marvel MCU. I would rate most of them as fine, not definitely not including Spider-Verse, which is not an MCU movie, but like Spider-Verse, I would give like a solid 9.5 to 10. Like the no question there. Probably 9.5 for reasons I won't discuss on stream because of spoilers, but like the first Spider-Verse movie, easy 10 out of 10. Yeah, comedy's subjective too. Yeah, there have been a few comedies sort of in its vein that I would have given like 8.5s. I would say like Booksmart. I would have given like an 8.5, which I really loved Booksmart, actually. I thought Booksmart was a really fun movie. A really fun sort of reimagining of the Superbad style comedy. I don't know if you guys have seen Booksmart, but I actually quite loved it. Yeah, I know, man. You're thirsty as hell. I also, like, of course it gets very difficult when you start talking about things like having to compare like writing, visual effects, if applicable, you know, like, and it gets like doubly hard when you start talking about things from different time periods, right? Like older movies are especially hard to rate on that front because it's like okay, so like the visuals aren't great, but they were great at the time. So like, do I grade it based on how it was at the time, or yeah, you know, yada yada. But yeah, I've thought in the past about doing a. Oh, I just ran right past it, huh? About doing like a rating stream of things. Actually, I think if you do. Is it exclamation point Mal? Yeah, you can see my my anime list and look at my trash opinions there. Which is mostly up to date. So I've thought about doing that for a just chatting stream sometime, like going through ratings of things or doing slightly more in-depth reviews on things, but sort of a combination of. Oh god, I was pressing all the wrong buttons. Oh, I don't remember how to use this at all. This is unwise. The hell? There we go. But I will say, like, one of the challenges of that is if it's a recent movie, then you kind of want to be a little bit wary of spoilers, right? Like, you don't want to be spoiling something that most people maybe haven't seen yet. And so, but then if it's like old stuff, then it's kind of less relevant, so. Found this good game, you might want to recommend it to me. Okay. Hit me up with it, Mitt. What is it? What type of game? Why do you recommend it to me? Gosh, why is the fact that you put that you just said it's make me already a little sus? See, Velveta, I love it. I can already tell. Demon Slayer's art is a 9, and its plot and writing are a 5. But I'm way less impressed with just visuals. Uh-oh. Do you have the opposite opinion? Listen, I've seen a lot of anime, okay? Okay, I haven't seen season 3. It does have like the seasons that I've watched. I only watched season 1. So, which is the time that I rated it. Some of it, again, this is also where it gets difficult because like there's some of it that's graded on a curve just because it was my first of something or because I've seen so much of that thing. I have seen a lot of shonen. Do I though? I really didn't like any of the characters at all. Like I just didn't care. Tanjiro, I don't have a problem with a character that like has empathy, but it was to a point that was just like it just didn't really feel that interesting or genuine. I don't even remember his name, but the fucking lightning kid made me want to gouge my own ears out every time he spoke, and Inosuke I just didn't really care about either. And Nezuko is literally silent, so I also don't really care about her. Episode 1 was fantastic, right? Because it was like super emotional stakes, but like, my God, I could not care by like 7 episodes in. Zenitsu, yeah. That's his name. I mean, so that's one of those things that I think is really interesting and difficult to discuss in writing, because it's like, if you make a character that's just miserable to like spend time with, a lot of the time it's like, well, they have a really interesting backstory. I'm like, yeah, but like, that doesn't make me want to watch it any more than that. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. Yeah. There are sorting options. I don't know how much you use Mal, but You can sort it by score or by alphabetical, so you could see what I rated top and bottom, if that gives you an easier idea rather than just going alphabetically.
What happened here?
I spent like an entire day catching up on as much anime as I could remember from having watched it in, you know, the last 30 years of watching anime.
Let's get you to a physical.
I know it's a bit of a. I do know that it's a very popular anime, though. I understand it's a bit of a controversial take.
Also thought you might need some help, and it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials ascended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all her efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
The copium. Listen,
They headed towards
it's fine. That's what a 6 is. A 6 is fine.
Sheltering Martha's
It's fine. You know?
Bastards.
It's fine.
Go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is.
But listen, I remember we were talking about Gundam 00 / other Gundams, so you might at least be happy with my ranking of Gundams. At least moderately so. I don't know exactly where you place it, but the fact that you remember that Kyrios is a specific Gundam tells me that you probably like Gundam a decent amount.
That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Oi, look sharp!
I also did. There's a similar site for movies, like live action movies, and I went through that and did it. It took me literally all day to try and dredge up every single movie I could remember, and then rate it appropriately. Which was kind of fun in and of itself to like revisit all the movies. And largely what I did is I went and like looked up the top like 50 movies of every year since the 1980s.
Look.
Actually probably, yeah, early 1980s. I haven't seen very many movies before the 80s.
Are you hurt?
Don't worry about me.
And basically it was just like, yep, nope, and then went and rated it on a complex system of like, again, memory versus era versus overall quality.
Helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both when the sick rose from their beds. Poor souls turned on the Imperials, distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Black shields. Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one order of shields in Rosaria.
I feel like I've seen a lot of anime compared to most people. Certainly not people that like anime is their only form of entertainment, but I feel like I have a pretty extensive library, and I'm sure I've missed some. I've certainly missed, I do tend to go on like a very cyclical phase with anime where I'll watch a lot of it for several years and then I'll kind of get burned out and like not watch it for a year or two, and then I'll get way back big into it just like once it's sort of gotten a little bit farther away, and then I'll like catch up on some of the best stuff but like not all of it. So there's definitely some gaps, especially in more recent stuff.
It's over.
So shoujo anime, it's not something that I seek out actively all the time. That's largely because I think I'm very particular when it comes to romance elements, which is to say that I do like romance, but I feel like it needs to be really good. It doesn't need to just exist for me to watch it. That's true too. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Velveta. There's some more like classic shoujo that I've seen that I really liked. I don't know if Gekon Shoujo Nozaki-kun counts as shoujo because it's like kind of just comedy slash I don't know, but I fucking love that show. I love Skip Beat. That is like a straight shoujo. Skip Beat was really fun. Let's see, what are some other shoujo that I've watched? The card one I think doesn't classify as shoujo. And I'm forgetting what it's actually called right now. Shit. Chihaya Fudu. I like that one a lot, but that's not exactly comedy drama. So I guess that's kind of not. Oh, that's shoujo. Yeah, I like Chihaya Fudu a lot. I like. Again, there's some that I don't know if they exactly classify as shoujo, but some, like, there are some romance anime that I like, which I know that not all shoujo is romance, but it's a pretty big element in most shoujo anime.
Too late.
I would say maybe a more controversial one is that I was bored to tears by, oh shit, what was that called? They came out with like a remake of it a year or two ago. With like the whole family that were like all animal spirits. God, what was it actually called? It's like a classic, and my brain is Fruits Basket. That's right. Yeah, I was bored to absolute fucking tears by that show. Which again, I know that like, I guess later a lot of the characters have horrible dark backstories, but like, my God, I just could not give a shit about any of the characters in it. Like, I don't know, it just did not do it for me, so I didn't finish it. Also, I guess sometimes controversial take depending on who you ask. Yeah, I watched like 12 episodes and I just like could not care. Also somewhat controversial take, I have no problem rating a series if I haven't finished it, because like basically my opinion is that if it wasn't interesting enough to keep me engaged to watch it, that's the series writing, like that's the fault of the writing in the series. So it's perfectly valid to say like I don't care if it gets good in 50 episodes. Like, if it wasn't good enough to make me want to watch 50 episodes, then that's a huge writing problem. And, like, I don't care how it ends if it couldn't be interesting enough to get me to the end. I know that there's a lot of, like, purists that are like, well, you have to watch the entire thing before you can rate it. I'm just like, nah, dog. Like, ain't nobody got time for that.
On these our swords we swear.
You never watched Fruits Basket? Yeah.
Have you no honor?
It feels very much like...
This won't take long.
In general, I just don't like most anime where it feels like the main character is just like a blank slate for wish fulfillment. In both shoujo and shonen. For the most part. There's some shonen that probably fall under that I've rated okay. That are like getting a bias from having watched them when I was like 12. But... Oh god, okay. Fucking clapped him. My Love Story was really fun. Yes, that's a shoujo that I really liked. Yes, I like that a lot. Yeah, exactly. Like, I just... Yeah, so...
Is that all of them?
And that's sort of what I mean about the romance aspect is like, I like a good romance. I don't like a romance where it feels like the main character just has people falling all over them regardless of what their gender is. So like harem or reverse harem, I don't usually watch for the most part because of that exact reason. It's like the main character is usually kind of like a blank slate and there's like a dozen people that just want them. And it's like, but why? Like the fact that you want a person that's this bland makes me seriously question how interesting you could possibly be. I haven't seen Beyond the Boundaries.
The abbot.
Dude, that guy's straight up dusted. Yikes.
The bearers died protecting him, calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Any fans of Haikyuu in the chat?
Clive, he's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
Let's go, man.
Every last one.
Who are your favorite characters?
If only that were true. The Black Shields.
Oh, Velveta. If you're gonna ever watch a sports anime, I highly recommend Haikyuu. I think Haikyuu is actually legitimately in one of my top 5 anime of all time. And I, until maybe 5 years ago, never thought that I would ever care about a sports anime. So like I didn't watch very many quite a while ago. And holy shit, it is so good. It like, I can't even describe how good it is. Again, assuming that you like any sort of like shonen anime that has like,
we found a survivor.
You know, sort of that like battling progression character tropes, but it's counter to how most of those are. There are no like superpowers. Like it's literally just volleyball, which is all the more incredible that they can make it seem so interesting and so engaging. And they do such a fantastic job of character building and character growth amongst all of the pretty much all of the members of the team, as well as like members of the opposing teams, which is also very unique in general shonen anime because like normally in a fighting based one, you know, like Hiroaka or
fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose
you know,
from their
Demon
beds,
Slayer, like the bad guys are evil, right? But in this, like, it's a sport.
could escape.
Like, there are no evil characters. There's just opponents. And so then they, like, also have the, like, character growth and story moments of the opponents as well. Because, like, so often you're... Yeah, it's just rivalry, exactly. And, like, so often you're, like, rooting... You're, like, not rooting for the opponents, but you're like, damn... Like, I kind of want the opponents to win because holy shit. And like, they have so... Like, if you watch the final, like, the finale of each season, right, you'd be like, oh, this is hype as hell. Because it is. It's incredibly hype. It has the same composer as My Hero Academia. So, like, the soundtrack just fucking hits when they want it to be hype. And it feels like My Hero Academia in, like, those epic moments, except they're playing volleyball and they're still somehow making it incredible. But because it's, quote, just volleyball, they also get to sidestep the problem that things like My Hero Academia have, where it's like the power just infinitely grows to points that are sort of ridiculous and they just leave people behind. Oh my God, please report in. Please report back. It has one of my favorite antagonists in all of anime. And there's a meme that like he gets included on people's like 3x3s of antagonists, except everybody else in the antagonist is like a war criminal or like a mass murderer. And then there's like just this kid who's a fucking high school volleyball player. It's like everybody loves this character as an antagonist, but then they put him up there with like Lelouch and L from Death Note. And like, you're like, ah, yes, people responsible for thousands to millions of deaths. And also Oikawa Toru, high school volleyball. And he's like not even evil. He's just a really interesting, complicated character. But like the part I was saying before is like, if I just showed you the finale, you would understand that it's hype. But like what really shows that Haikyuu is so masterful is that it's actually so much more hype if you watch the season, not because of the fact that you've been like watching the team, you know, just like build up their dreams, but it's like the like part of the setup is that one of the players on the team used to play with players on the other team in like middle school, and he's got all this like baggage, and they all have baggage with each other, and then like the character growth of moving beyond their old baggage and evolving as players and people. Oh my God. It's close enough. This is the critically acclaimed installment of talking about Haikyuu and why it's one of my top 5 anime of all time, even though it's just a fucking anime about high school volleyball. I can't. Cypher, listen, I don't know how much anime you actually watch. Also, welcome to the chat. You should absolutely watch it if you haven't seen it. It is, I can't describe how good it is, and it sounds so dumb to just be like, yeah, it's a volleyball anime, but it's so good. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me show you a visual of how good it is that has nothing to do with the actual, like no spoilers or anything. No. Okay. 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 Hold on. We're adding an impromptu image source here. Okay. This is a graph of the number. I mean, I'll just say what it says. The number of students in high school volleyball clubs in Japan by year. And this is when Haikyuu came out. Like, it is so good, it legitimately inspired, like, a 35% increase in playing the actual sport in Japan, like, as it came out. It is so good. Like, the character growth, the character development, like, the slow burns, like, some of the characters have an arc that lasts, like, multiple seasons, whereas other characters, like, somewhat sort of get through their arc faster. But, like, you've got, oh my god, it's so fucking good. And my favorite villain, and by villain I mean antagonist, is our ultimate fuckboy himself. Mitt knows who it is. Just a sec. Look at this. Look at this beautiful man. Oh god. Why are you like this? Why are these saving as... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, it's all right, man. It's good. Okay, maybe this will do it. Saving images on the fly is a little bit slow. Here we go. This is the champion fuckboy himself. Hope I'm okay with spicy things. I do like spicy things of all varieties. Look at this lad. Look at this. Look at the fuckboy energy. The fuckboy energy, Cypher. Hey, yo, let's go. Yeah, well, listen. Listen. Anyway, doesn't matter. It would be spoilers to go into too much, but it's great. He is a senior, you know, so he's about to be a college boy. Some of it's just art style. He doesn't look quite that old in the rest of it, but man, it is so good. It's wild to have a show where like you also fall in love with all of like most of the antagonists. Like it's so good. I can't. It's so good. And like I said, the character growth, the character building, the like emotional, mental, social relationships of all the characters. It's peak. It's so peak. And it's also, for those of you who matter or care, it's as a story, the anime has not been fully adapted, but it's almost been fully adapted, and the manga has finished. So it has an ending. It's not just like an infinitely long, holy shit, look at this guy. It's not just like an infinitely long shonen anime either. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh. All right, I think I found out what that board is for. Notorious marks, every now and then Clive may encounter creatures larger, faster, and more ferocious than most. While the fight is always an option, defeating these notorious marks can earn him not only renown, but rare materials that can also be used to craft new gear or upgrade existing items. Sure.
The thing has spotted us, Torgal. What do I say? Of course it has. There's a floating
Oh, okay. All right, that hurt a lot. Holy shit. All right, well, that's like one of my first deaths, my man. Anyway, Haikyuu. I'll never get over hyping it. Cypher, I don't think you've actually... I don't remember if you've seen this. Yeah. God, Final Fantasy X was so good. Like, it's so extra, and some of the voice acting is a little subpar, but like, it's still such a good game. And like, delivering the emotional gut punches towards the end, classic. It probably doesn't surprise you that like in my youth I was a total Auron simp. That edgy motherfucker. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Also Lulu, Big Booba Dommy Mommy, please. Please and thank you. Was it? I wonder if it shows my corpse on here. Exactly, dude. For fucking real. Goddamn. Velveta, you should just get like a full-on Lulu dress. Honestly, your outfit kind of reminds me of it, like in the best way. I mean, it's really the belts, right? There's infinite belts. Infinite belt works. It's such a like peak Final Fantasy design also to just have an entire dress made out of belts. It's fucking wild. Listen, you know, Dommy Mommy. That is a personality, all right? Trust me. Source, trust me, bro. Well, okay. Listen, we'll pretend that didn't happen. Yes, true. Final Fantasy X too, like some of the tone was a little too silly for me, but like still some of the emotional story beats and the actual like combat systems are some of the best that Final Fantasy turn-based ever got. Like it's kind of sad that it sort of got clowned on because it was like actually a very fun game. Like it had some issues, but it was very good. Its story did get a little too Final Fantasy, if you take my meaning, but it's still a great game. They're the only Final Fantasy games you've played? Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's fair. Like, that's reasonable. I feel like there's a small but dedicated base of people like me who are the ultimate Final Fantasy IX fanboys, who like used to say that it was Final Fantasy VII, but like as we've gotten older, we realized that 9 was actually like everything that we loved. Oh, you finished 15 the other day? Yeah, you probably played with the DLCs, which I think probably helped compared to launch, because they added a lot more of the side stories with your party members. I think that 15 had a really solid base, and they just didn't quite execute on it, and the whole last like 4 chapters of the game felt super rushed, which is like really unfortunate. But like, I'll admit, I straight up fucking like teared up at the ending, like when you have the picture of your choice. Like, it's so corny, but it worked. Like, they did a good job of making me like care about the characters, and yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy VII are all like such incredible games that I still love to this day. Final Fantasy Tactics, huge fan of Tactics, even though it's like a fundamentally different game. And I've been really happy with, oh god, this is not, I forgot that it didn't put me in fire. I really like what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake, both from, like, the aesthetics are incredible, like, incredibly faithful. The voice acting is so good in both English and Japanese. I've played it in both. That's true. That's exactly what it is, man. Yeah, I've played 7 Remake in both Japanese and English, and they're both very good. In terms of like voice acting and everything. I'm a little worried about some of the meta elements that I guess I can talk about a little bit without giving away too many particular spoilers, but there's in the 7 remake there's these like dark Dementor looking motherfuckers that pretty much everybody calls them Dementors in the community, and I was spoiled on what they were ahead of time because I looked it up because people had talked about it being kind of like controversial, and I was like, well, I really want to know what I'm in for so that like I can decide how I feel about it. And the answer, this is one of those cases that I was talking about earlier where when you do a twist but you support it well, it works great upon repeat viewings, and in this case it works really well even if it's your first time, which is at least a sign of solid planning and writing. Now how it's going to end up in the future we'll have to see, but they are essentially like, they are not in the original, and they are there to, they are arbiters of fate to try and make sure that things happen as they're supposed to. And I won't say any more than that, but with that knowledge, if you are familiar with the original game, it's one of those things where if you're not familiar, it doesn't matter and it's not a problem. And if you are familiar and you're aware of that twist, it's fine if you're not, but like if you are aware of it, they do it extremely well, where there's certain things that don't happen exactly the way that they did in the original, and a lot of the time you would chalk that up to being just like transitioning to a modern era and a slight reimagining, whatever. But in almost all of those cases, those like shadowy things show up and sort of like interfere with you, and then by the time they leave, everything ends up ending up the same way as it did in the original. And so like if you get keyed into that, or if you play the game multiple times, because they do explain it in the game, but it's very fascinating and very well constructed because like you'll be it's like, well, this isn't, you know, for example, early on, you know, it's like Cloud is supposed to go on the second mission with the crew in the original game. And in this game, they're like, nah, we don't need your help. And you're like, oh, that's kind of different. That's a little weird. But like after a few scenes, basically the like shadow things show up and they injure one of the other characters. And then they're like, shit, we need someone to cover. And they're like, I guess we're hiring you. So it's like at the end, everything ends up oof, how it quote unquote should be. But like okay. Okay, good. I can dodge it. That's good. It's a very interesting decision and one that's very controversial, and it worries me a little bit about what they're planning to do for the future. But overall, I still really enjoyed part one. Oof. All right. Ah, come on, you fucker.
Nice try.
What's Twitch doing, Velveta? Oh, it keeps crashing. Womp womp. Are you on mobile or? Womp womp, yeah.
There's a good boy.
Not again! Oh, come on. All right. I like the way that they do Doom on this. Anyway, that was a really long way of saying I really liked the 7 remake, and there's the long, rumored thing that they are also remaking 9, which I would love so much because I also adore 9. Oh, okay, we're fine. Now the question is it gonna doom me and kill me afterwards? Who could say? Anyway. Boy, we've got on a long rant of Haikyuu and Final Fantasy, but I could talk forever about both of them, probably, so.
That must be the bridge.
Yeah, Cypher and Velveta,
So shall
Haikyuu.
the waters cleanse thee of thy burden,
It's so good.
and bear it out to sea.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's listen, I can talk about just about anything for a really long time.
And now they are truly free.
No.
What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back.
I should
Cole
go.
is worried about Martha.
All right.
All right. Such a sad boy. Okay. Ooh. I don't know why I'm warm right now. Like, it was actually kind of cool today. It was only 65, which is a really nice temperature, but it's really warm in the house. Not really sure why. I don't even have the excuse that I have all the lights on, because since I'm PNG tubing, I don't need to have the lights on. I'm just sitting in a dark cave, as is my natural state. That's gonna be the saddest part about getting the Live 2D. It's true, it's true. Although in this case, it's the PlayStation, but... And I mean, sitting next to my computer monitors, I suppose, too.
And they call themselves our country.
They've killed my bearer. I demand.
They killed my bearer!
No one survived then?
No.
I'm sorry.
They dead, ma'am.
Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
That's terrifying.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their
Honestly, I
remains.
hate anything 80 and
That was good of
above.
you, but it should have been me. This was all my fault.
Ugh.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago.
Yeah.
Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times, you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing
It's unthinkable.
unthinkable.
No.
Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
Well, you see,
And
she's an
picking
awful
what goes
person.
on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials
Big swords,
they
big men, or
come in
both?
here again and
Why not both?
threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived.
Both is good.
He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I would turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers.
Yeah. You got any new games you're looking forward to, Velveta? Either new to you or new, you know, coming out, so to speak. Resident Evil Village. Ooh, nice. I have not played that one. I played a couple of the really old Resident Evils, like literally 1 and 2. I didn't really love them, and then I basically haven't touched the franchise since then. Give me that big dummy on me. Yeah, that's true. It is hard to avoid Lady Dimitrescu.
Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? Because a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos?
Let's go.
You heard me right.
Wild birds, the biggins.
The big ones. And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest.
Yeah, that's true.
birds
Typically,
you
it is a
ever did
third-person
see.
series, but I think you're right. I
They
think it is.
protect
I think it is
travellers round these
first-person.
parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos.
I've always kind
Fighting
of felt like
bandits.
Resident Evil
It's
was
true.
sort of a little
Why,
clunky intentionally
saved
so,
from a gang of footpads
in order to
on
sort of like
Westfield.
simulate the struggle of being in a zombie apocalypse. But I don't.
They're
Sort of similar to writing
Looking to
characters that are
settle the
miserable
score.
and eventually they quote unquote
Go on,
get
then.
good.
Don't
I'm like,
just
I don't know that I
stand
want to
there.
play a game that I
Go
find
and
super
help 'em.
clunky just because it's quote thematic and intentional. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
There's a
yeah, I mean,
good
you have to
lad.
let me know how
Where can I
Village
find
is.
these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things towards the old dock. It's a dead end, that is. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me?
I mean, I say that, but I fucking love Dark
in
Souls,
all
and
the
that also
world.
somewhat describes Dark
He's a
Souls. So
hero to us locals.
I guess it just depends
Don't
on
worry.
exactly how and why it's
You'll know
janky.
her when you see her, right enough.
I'm sure I will.
And good luck to you. I give those no good bastards a hiding from me.
Wow, 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 wow. Exactly. Jank and Cluck. Yeah, Buster Cluck. A nice little, like, acoustic guitar. Clunk. Well,
Whiteheart.
you know, Cluck too.
That's quite a name for a chocobo.
Is that gonna be my Chocobo? Did it survive somehow? Is this, are we having the reunion I talked about? Let's find out. Find out now. The name White is too significant.
A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind.
Yeah, let's go.
Brave birds.
Get my fucking
Looks like
noble
they went
steed
that way.
back? Hell yeah. Dude, in Final Fantasy VII, in the original, there was a legit, like, chocobo breeding, like, I don't know if I'd call it a mini game, but, like, chocobo breeding was an integral part to attaining some unique materia, which is how you cast spells.
These chocobos aren't going down without a fight.
Like, it like, there were hidden grades of each type of chocobo based on where you caught it. And so it was like you needed at least a certain grade, and then like they would have a % chance of breeding a blue or a green chocobo. And then each one did different things. The green let you go over, I want to say, go over mountains, and blue let you go through rivers. And then if you bred a blue and a green chocobo
Because she's
together,
something of a hero in these
then
parts.
it turned into a
You heard
black
her.
chocobo, which
I
could
heard
go
you.
over both. And then if you bred a black chocobo with a specific rarity of regular chocobo only, but not the highest rarity, the second highest rarity, then it like turned into a gold chocobo, which could do all of that and fly, or something like that. it was like, and this was fucking 1997. Like, it was insane, like what kind of shit there was. And that was the only way to get the strongest summon in the game, was to get a gold chocobo. Which, by the way, it was never explained that was like it was never explained in game. Like, you had to find it in, you know, like strategy guides that knew the answer, basically.
Let's try.
I mean, you absolutely don't need the strongest summon to beat Sephiroth, but it, you know. Actually, ironically, the strongest summon was also kind of annoying to use because it literally took so long to animate it, because it was called Knights of the Round, and you literally had 13 knights show up and damage the opponent and the like cutscene on it was so unbearably long and unskippable, which is sort of its own like brand of funny. Ah, fuck you.
There's a good boy.
He does have a big ass. But listen, we're Axemen, but we're also not Axemen, you know? All forms are beautiful. X-Men? Nah, I was making an ass-men joke.
You're safe now.
It's absolutely my choke.
White heart, I presume.
Look at that busted up eye from when it saved me when I was a child.
Do you know her, boy?
Look at that little like butt wiggle. Yeah, there we go.
It couldn't be. Ambrosia.
This is the real reunion I needed all along.
It is you.
This game's a 10 out of 10. Easy clap. You can pet the dog. You can pet the childhood white chocobo. My God, that's all you need to be a 10 out of 10. Listen, I may have talked in length about how my rating system is, harsh but fair, complicated. I lied. 10 out of 10 game.
I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would.
Are we leaving my chocobo behind to have its harem, flock?
Made it through unscathed.
Because I can live with
Thankfully
that.
they did. And not only that.
Maybe we're just gonna take it back to my to our fortress.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mount.
Mount?
No, I dare say she's
It's true.
such a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend.
But like we could also let her go.
From her master, kind-hearted warrior that you are.
Do the Charizard, let it go off to breed.
Cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Oh no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter who you are. You done right by me.
what is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon.
Why are chocobos so cute?
Told you. And it seems our pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight.
It's true. It's true.
That's down the
Big birds, big personalities.
Tonight. Oh, stay right
True
where
facts.
you
True
are.
facts. Oh man, I don't remember. It was somebody else's stream. We started talking about the 90s TV show Dinosaurs. Did you ever watch that? / do you know what that is? It was an old sitcom with like puppets, or like puppets / people in like big dinosaur suits. Yes, and there was a baby with an egg. Yeah. And like part of the running joke was that they like mixed up the eggs, and so they had like the wrong babies
How much do I
between the two families. Yeah.
A few scraps of leather's the very least I owe
What
for
a
white
weird
heart.
time the 90s was. What a weird show that was.
Of course.
And also it had an
She's earned her
incredibly
right
dark
to
ending
happiness and more
because
besides.
it basically ended with
Don't you
the
worry,
meteor
we'll get
falling
along just fine
and
without
like
her.
them watching the news about how all life was
Hear that,
ending,
Whiteheart?
which is really
Earn
fucked up
yourself some
for like a
time
family
off.
friendly
You
like
have fun
show.
traveling with your master
Yeah.
now.
It was like super dark.
You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you? No. No, that can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Exactly. A
Must have
wild
been my
fever dream.
double.
Look, everybody was just coming down from all the coke they did in the 80s, right?
Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Pay me
Silly
no
sod.
mind. Anyhow, best be on my way. Good luck to the both of you.
All right. Let's fucking go. Chocobo get.
Take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need
Although,
you.
honestly, I'm not really sure how this Chocobo survived. It really shouldn't have. As much as I love that I'm getting my bird back, like, we turned into Ifrit and absolutely, like, incinerated everything around us and killed every person that was near us. So, like, apparently, apparently, our like mentor who taught us how to fight, yeah, he got burned to ash, but our fucking bird that got knocked unconscious, it's fine. I mean, maybe it ran, I guess. I guess it wasn't unconscious. After 18 years... Okay, hold R3 to summon Ambrosia. Okay. Yo. Let's go! I was not expecting to get Chocobo controls.
Faster!
Oh, let's go. No wonder it makes it feel so slow to do the running. Now we ride! Hell yeah! Insert Tokyo Drift music. Yeah, okay. Deep water. Whoop. Ah, and she got one of them too. I guess we took multiple of this man's chocobos. It's fine. It's only his livelihood. It's medieval times. I'm sure that these weren't a big deal, right? Right? Guys? Okay. Okay, let's take a look. All right, I think I'm gonna take a quick break to stretch out, do a quick bio, grab another drink, all that jazz. We'll be back in just a minute. Stay tuned. All right, we have returned. Stretching my old hideous body. Oh, oh God. Oh. Stiff neck. Snap, crackle, pop. You're goddamn right. Okay, all right. I'm so glad I got myself a hand rest for when I'm playing PlayStation games. Like, my wrists got so sore before when I would just, like, prop them against the wooden table. Just old people streamer things, you know?
Where's Gav?
Yeah, exactly. Ding, ding, ding. Brown.
Well, did you find me some wax?
Find is one way of putting it.
I sort of just did that accidentally. Didn't even realize I did it. Just killed some plants.
reeks like a chocobo's arse. I'll go. Yeah. Same as me old man.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. Good. Good. Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Anyway, bringing it back to what I was saying, like, I don't know, an hour ago, I'm really excited for Baldur's Gate 3 to come out because I really liked Divinity Original Sin 2, but I did sort of get a little tired of some of the way that its mechanics worked after a time. And so having it be based in 5th edition D&D,
where's my report?
I think I'm gonna like that aspect a little bit better. And Ostracek, thank you, man. Thank you so much.
You're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So having that, and just having a really good long story game, another one, but one of the more like
You remember how quick the Empire was to occupy
exploration and
Dominion
like
after the fall
alternate
of
tactic style
Drake
ways of completing things
And
is
how pissed
exciting
off
because
all
it's
the
kind
other
of a
nations
dying
were that they didn't
game
think to
medium.
do it first.
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using
Look at that
liberation
shady look
as
she's
an
given.
excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming.
Perfect.
It's time we moved on the mother crystals.
Let's go.
4 mother crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rossfield.
Lord Byron Rossfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rossfield. And you're a Rossfield, of course.
Of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh?
What are we waiting for? Ah, there we go. Now we can turn in that bounty that we got. Following hideaway facilities are now available. Alliant reports, Patron's Whisper, and the Hunt Board. Okay, all right.
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Just get ourselves a few more potions, just because.
Gawping.
God, I love this lady's
Find a
energy.
verse weighing you down.
This grumpy. Oh, what are you waiting for?
You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind,
All right.
you know.
Alrighty,
I think
alright.
it's alright to touch him.
I don't know.
Quest. Go see what the board has to say. I really like the aesthetic of these types of places that are sort of like reclaimed wreckage of something that you like build encampments into. I think it's a pretty sweet look. It's a cool melding. There you are. Yeah, okay.
What's the matter, Nectar?
Nectar.
The hunt board. It's where the curse breakers post sightings. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted doesn't mean they...
I need your help. I need not remind you, Koopa, I'm the mightiest of all Moogles. No fiend of the forest or ghoul of the great... Okay, that one. It is a very nice sanctuary. Yeah, big fan. Big fan.
Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the curse breakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
At least I can try. All right, let's see what we got here. One down. I see him. Yeah, perfect. Location, reward. Okay. Sonbrak and Broken Hills. Okay. Interesting. All right. Oh, ooh. Hello. Desiree. Ooh.
Oh, Clive. Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper?
This is where we have rumors.
Someone else?
Oh, no. That's still me. It's just Karen has her toll. Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up.
That's right. Marketing is very important. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
In addition to setting
follow.
aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented
Join
to
my
you
database.
personally.
Become one of thy newest
Would you like to see
kilobytes.
if we have any?
Okay.
Come to claim your just desserts?
Completing side quests will earn Clive renown, inspiring yada yada. Donate items. Okay, visit Desiree. Use the current renown level and accept any donations. Okay. You marry a band of outlaws. Okay, so we just got a bunch of that stuff.
All yours.
Okay. Cool.
Come again. I may have more for you.
Interesting system to not have that be automatic, but
Anything catch your eye?
failed tasks.
Always something in there.
That doesn't do anything. And let's go pick up that quest down there. See what that's all about. I don't know why I randomly just do fake accents that aren't good. Probably just a nervous habit / being submersed in hearing them all over the time in this game. I don't know. Because it's fun. It's true. It is fun.
It won't be long now, Martel.
Martel?
Sid, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martell's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All
look
her
at
hard
it
work's
now.
finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and not only is it ready, it's actually
impressive.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse. You couldn't take them some, could you?
Ah, another food delivery
It'd
quest.
be nice being the
Of
bearer
course.
good news for a change.
Being the bearer of good news. Mm.
She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they... Here you go. You hear that, Martell? Today's finally the day.
Kind of sad. Kind of sad. Okay. Hi. Okay, so they're just upstairs. Cool. Let's explore this a little bit. Just like take in all the sights. I can't wait until we're flying this around in Act 3 or whatever. Because you know that's coming. There's no way. Game's also like really nailing just the vibes and the mood with like the music, the general aesthetics, the world design. Like, it's just, it's so good. I mean, just look at all these little textures on these sails, or shade. They're not really sails, I guess. They're just tent shades, but damn. Modern games are actually a marvel. It's incredible that ever even can get made. And like the amount of detail that goes into it that's kind of just looked past and ignored, but you can tell when it's not there. Like, it's crazy.
You two look like you could use something to eat.
Something?
Yeah. Courtesy of Martell.
1 apple. Again, I still don't know why they have this pop-up for handing over your items when there's no choice, right? They just tell you the item you're giving them. I don't know. A little weird quirk, I guess.
Was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait.
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid.
A little weird that they're calling me Sid too. I mean, I guess that is my moniker now, but
Others weren't so lucky though. A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Mmm.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things.
They taste fucking awful.
He'd nab them right from the branch, make Martell livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
True.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martells, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you.
You gonna make some cobbler out of that?
Well, I've got some manners at least.
Man, have you guys ever had crab apples?
You can leave the basket with me.
I actually love them. I know that I don't think most people eat crab apples because they're so tart. But I actually love them, and they make fantastic cobbler and pie filling. We used to have a crabapple tree that was in our neighbors. Oh, you absolutely can. They're very small, but I mean, if they're poisonous, I ate a lot of them. You know, Let's look it up. Crab apple. Yes, they're generally too tart to eat raw, but their appliness is intense when cooked. Crab apples have really high pectin content, great for jams and jelly. So, yeah. Yeah, you can. They're incredibly tart, but kind of in a good way. You know, like sour candies are, you know, like so tart, but like good. Yeah. Our neighbors had a huge one when I was growing up that basically like a bunch of the branches fell over into our yard, and so they just like dropped tons of them in our backyard. And yeah, I used to eat them, and they do make very good jam. Again, very strong flavor because the raw product is very strong, but yeah, they're delicious.
The Cursebreakers send their thanks. And their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martell.
They remembered her. After all these years. I suppose
It's
she
not
was
that
very
long.
kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martell. Why did you have to die? She put
Morbid,
everything
but-
into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her, and now it's a full-grown tree. Martell lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with
True.
her.
True enough.
You not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martell. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think?
All right, sick. Slightly stunted, somewhat sweet apples from the blighted earth, thanks to the dedication and perseverance of one woman, Martell. May she rest in peace. No. Ah, displayed. Okay. Let's take a look. Oh, interesting. So it won't let me go anywhere else. Humph. Ooh, 1900? Ooh, that's nice. Okay. Okay, so what do we got over here? Staff on the ground, electrifying all enemies within the radius. Launch a barrage. Targets are determined by locking onto them. Oh, that one's pretty cool. Hmm. 2,300. Gosh, that's expensive. And then this one, that's a pillar of fire that burns all enemies. See, I already like my fire abilities though, so I don't really want to do that. Hmm. Okay, what does mastering this do? Increase the number of lock-ons? Oh, I don't even do that. Okay. I mean, I guess I'll master this. It's so cheap. might actually save up for Judgment Bolt, though, and then just replace Thunderstorm, because I just really don't care. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Okay. Probably suffering through ads right now, or maybe just finished. So my apologies for that.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past.
Are we getting it? Are we getting the dark backstory time now?
If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
Bloodlines.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We'll visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
There we go. Okay. Let's check our map here. Yeah, all right. We'll just go straight to the quest objective. No need to wander. We've been doing quests for so long. Excellent chocobo riding to go a whole grand 10 feet.
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! I think we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
It's true. It's true. That's what we're all about here.
Rosaria
Skipping on walking.
must be cleansed of the stain which befalls her, that she might rise once again from the ashes to welcome a new dawn. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all, for the transgressions of but a handful.
A handful.
Of course, your lordship. You shall have our full cooperation.
Dude, this guy's armor looks fucking awesome. I'm a big fan of that armor style.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small? There's barely room to hide a bearer.
Then they must be here for something else.
You fancy dancing the gallows?
Welcome, stranger. Keep to the roads now.
Keep to the roads. The Utes!
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There have been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the culprits.
Oh, you fucking narcs? Alright.
We're going hunting for outlaws. How'd you like that, boy?
That meme of They don't realize I'm a VTuber. They don't realize I'm an outlaw. They don't realize I'm a bear.
You seen him, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
The black shields. Just now. You seen them, didn't you? At least I think they was the black shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harboring firebrands. If only we
Firebrands.
were. I might have turned them in and become a black shield myself.
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know.
It's a separate insurrection
But
group.
we need to find out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I was gonna see if it let me do my fire dash just to fuck
Greetings,
around.
friend. We are travelers.
I know that. What do you want?
We couldn't help noticing.
We're a town of 12
those
people. We
Imperial
know you're
soldiers
travelers.
who were here earlier.
Don't you go telling these strangers a thing. I speak for the people of this village, and we have nothing more to say to you. You are to leave Amber and never come back.
May I at least ask why?
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but your presence puts us all in grave danger. The Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and its justice swift. But as long as we keep our heads down and pay our tributes, we are left alone. Some might call it submission. But if it will spare my people the Viceroy's wrath, then I will gladly submit.
Viceroy.
This village
Interesting word.
will not become another East Pole.
Then we shall be on our way.
They don't know I'm their rightful heir.
These people live with a knife to their throats. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother will show them mercy.
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
Sorry, It's nothing. We still don't know who the Black Shields are looking for.
Well, whoever they are, the Imperials deem them worth pursuing to the back of beyond. But other than Martha, who else in Rosari would have the courage to stand against the Empire? A new ally would certainly be welcome. Can we find them before the Imperials do? Perhaps the next village will yield more answers.
Perhaps.
Alright.
Let's go.
I really like the sort of modern way of doing mounts where they just like, oh, they just always appear from behind camera.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Ever since the apology.
Wait, my chocobo can kick the shit out of these things? Let's go!
He's waking them. The mother crystals collapse.
I have an idea. You're not going to like it.
Okay.
Straight home now.
You're finished.
Incredible. Yeah, exactly. Best girl. Best girl. I mean, my gamer senses tell me that there's probably something over here if it's a alternate route the same way. Just bring them both over here. Ooh, what's that thing? Oh, hi, bomb. Bzzzt. I really don't like that. I really don't like that special. What is this? Bull's Horn Great. It's like a treasure, like a futuristic treasure chest? That's cool. Oh, hello, fools. Well, alright, cool. Oh, okay. Nice little valley we got over here. Ba-dum, da-da-da-da-dum. Okay. I think that's just a repeat combat. Oh. Very well. Quiet, insulin pump. I don't need to hear it. I mean, I probably do, but yeah. Bzzzt. Just diabetes things. All right. Ooh. This, oh. Well, not for some reason. I thought that was, these rib things were a giant creature, but just scenery. Old ruins. I've gone in a circle. Don't mind me. Listen. So we're not going to talk about that.
Ready, go? Run like the wind.
Yes. All right. Well, listen. We killed them all, so it should be fine. I guess there sure was a quest marker I could have been looking at, but listen, we're not here for that. We're not here for that. Easy. Quick and easy death. That's what we like to see. Guess it's not bad against flying enemies, but still not my favorite. I don't like how this icon operates very much compared to the other two. The other two feel like they have a clear purpose. I guess maybe it's just that it's a ranged icon that you don't have to be near them to use, but I don't know. It doesn't feel very smooth for that purpose. Okay.
Blood, Clive.
Gorbox, welcome. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, raiders. I'm Grybach. I don't know if how many of you know me from Gorbox's prior raid a while ago, but I'm a digital vampire VTuber. Hey. What were you playing? You're playing Dead by Daylight? A lot of people are playing that again lately. How's that going for you?
You know who we are, and still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we
How's
may
the Dead by
purge the
Daylight
night
going?
and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again. I'll show you a true shield.
What? Hello? Oh, it's because I just used it. All right, just kidding. That was some Survivor. Okay, nice. I have never played that game. I've seen more of it than I ever thought I would, just because so many VTubers play it that I've been hanging out with. So it's very cool that so many people are really enjoying it. But I do know very little about it. Trying to curb stomp these fools. Yoink. Anyway, I've been really enjoying this game like a ton. The story has been really good. The atmosphere has been great. The music and just general sound effects have been fantastic. Combat's been quite fun, as well as a visual spectacle. Yeah, it's really fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm maybe
Tell me what I want.
maybe like 10, maybe like 10ish hours in, maybe 12. And it has a really fun like combo system, and you can really rapidly and freely switch between sort of elemental stances that like change up your moves. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Also, I really enjoy that it's been having a lot of like time passing. So like between where you start the game and where I'm at now, I think they said like 15 or 18 years have passed, but like in chunks. It wasn't like all at once. So like we started as like a young adult, and then there was like a pretty big time jump of like 10 years, and then there was another 5-year time jump after that, like after we had played for hours. Hey, how's it going? Welcome in. Yes. Oh, the hydrate redeem. Good call. Thank you. Gotta keep it fresh. Ah, yes, new Final Fantasy. Yes, indeed. I'm drinking out of a metal stein filled with ice and diet Pepsi. Yeah, welcome in. It's great to see you. And how do you pronounce your name? Is it Tiak? Yeah. The 4 Qs. Disgustingly delicious.
Find something, boy. Death.
Okay, so. Oh. Tiak is the normal pronunciation, but anything works. I mean, I understand that. I get a lot of pronunciations of my name or at least a handful. I say Greibach, but a lot of people say Greybach, or most commonly people just say Gray as a shortened version, which I don't really care. I'm fine with either as well. And as a shortened version, I think I like Gray more than Gry, but just because I like the color gray. But yeah, I say Greibach. Good old VTuber names. Greibach, yes, exactly. Also, I love that this game doesn't shy away from like sort of the dark side of war, which I mean sounds obvious, right? Because war is awful, but a lot of the time it sort of just gets glossed over. It's going good. I started like 2.5 hours ago, and yeah, been doing great. I just got a raid from Gorebox, and we were just talking about how they were playing Dead by Daylight, and then I was talking a little bit about why I'm really enjoying 16. Have you played any other Final Fantasies yourself?
We should go.
Also, that's a really cute emote. Very nice.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south,
I respond.
they may already be in Port Isolde.
That's a scary question. Well, I mean, I feel like that means that the answer is yes. But the scary answer is how many. Thank you. I still have to make at least another animated emote. I have another one in the works right now, but I don't really know how long it's going to be.
We're approaching
and
the bridge.
you played almost every. Ooh.
I doubt the Empire would let us
Okay.
cross over
Okay.
to Ozolith.
That's exciting. We finished them. Listen, a lot of people don't finish Final Fantasies because they're long games. The real dangerous question is not have you played Final Fantasy, but what's your favorite Final Fantasy? Because that's a cruel question. There's like half of them. Played 14, but the sub was... Yeah, I've never played either of the MMOs. I never played 11 because back in the day, I was young enough that like the idea of a monthly sub was insane. And I never played 14 because at the time I was big into Guild Wars 2. And so I didn't really want to do 2 MMOs. And also the initial launch of 14 was literally such an unmitigated clusterfuck of a dumpster fire that they like shut it down and deleted it and then rebooted the entire game, which is wild. But the fact that they actually managed to do it and it's now like one of the most beloved MMOs is so impressive. Like I'm so happy for them. But now it's like I just don't have time to play. I don't have time to play an MMO these days either. So yeah, I never played either of the MMOs, but I have a lot of friends that play 14 and really like it. They all tell me that you can totally play it casually. I don't know how much they're just huffing copium though, you know? Either 10 or 13. Ooh, okay. Okay. Interesting. 10 I've seen. I know that 10 is a lot of people's favorites. I don't think I've ever really seen anybody say 13 is their favorite. Is that including the sequels or like just straight up you're a 13 lover? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel the same way. That's why I like Guild Wars 2 so much. Well, not just that. I do think that Guild Wars 2 has like by far one of the fairest business models for an MMO ever.
You're finished.
Definitely with all the extra content. Okay, fair enough. I only played original 13 and then I never played the sequels because I was kind of meh about 13, the original. Like it was fine, but I didn't love like half of the characters, and boy, having basically a 25-hour tutorial before you could actually open up the system was a little bit rough also. but I have heard that people did like the 2 sequels, so that does make sense. But we were actually talking about Final Fantasy X earlier tonight in the chat because Velveta has only played Final Fantasy X, I believe. And
What happened to this place?
so we were talking about
My
that.
mother happened.
Yeah, it's
The
a classic.
chance.
You only in it for lightning? I do like lightning. Listen, my type is definitely the like short-haired badass. Like, I'm a fan. Like, okay, so have you played Final Fantasy IX? Yeah. Listen, based. We're already best friends. Did we just become best friends? I did like that. But yeah, did you ever play Final Fantasy IX? And or did you beat it? Ah, okay, so 9 is my favorite. When I was a younger lad, Final Fantasy VII was the first one I played, and for a long time, okay. Yeah, I'm old. So when I was a kid, Final Fantasy VII was brand new, and it was the first one that I played. And I, for a long time, used to say that it was my favorite, but like sort of in retrospect, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, I sort of realized, maybe a little bit more than 10, maybe 10, 15 years ago, I realized that actually 9 was my favorite in retrospect, because it's a really nice blend of like some serious topics, but the main cast is just a little bit more, like they deal with very serious topics, but they're not quite so edgy. And don't get me wrong, I love me my edgy characters, but I don't necessarily want an edgy character to be the main character all the time. And 7 and 8 both have that in spades, the like edgy, strong silent type that don't talk much and have like troubled pasts, and it's like, okay, well, listen, I don't, but I really like the cast in 9, and the point I was gonna say, aside from the fact that it's my favorite, is that the sort of the main female lead in it, halfway through the game, has a big character growth moment where she cuts her hair off to shoulder length, and I'm just like, oh, perfection. It just looks so good.
Those crystals belong to us all. I said, where were you, filth? Back to your sties. Cut you down where you stand. Destroy it.
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to
Yes.
find another way.
Yeah, the Mulan moment. Yeah. Yeah. It's
I thought we might be able to
it's
reason
good.
with the guards.
It's a good,
Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone in that crowd thought the same. Was that the only way in?
Officially, yes. Strictly speaking, no. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built so that they could visit town without having to walk amongst the rabble. The Lazarus.
ooh, I wonder if I can get this to show up. Hold on. We're you know, we're having a lot of
We'll find our way into the
of little like side tangents this episode for
If you're
various
sure.
images of
The
favorite
entire place looked abandoned.
anime and game
Keep it
characters.
safe.
Look at this short-haired hottie. Look at her.
As long as it is abandoned.
This is
The good
peak
news is we haven't seen a
like
single black shield since
1999 graphics.
Maybe they found who they were looking for.
Are you telling me I'm thirsty? Because you're not wrong. Listen. Yeah, I fucking nailed it. Love it. Oh my god. No, she's great though. There was actually a somebody did an edit of Tifa from Final Fantasy VII Remake with short hair, and I was just like, oh, Tifa's my girl, and Tifa short hair, you just like elevated it to levels I didn't know existed. Save all this shit here. Listen. Oh, that's gonna be massive. There we go. Look at, behold, short hair Tifa. Oh, my God, what a masterpiece. Queen, my beloved. Apparently, it struck like an entire creative spark of people all like doing short-haired Tifa for a month there back when that happened. We've also got this one. Yeah. Listen, I've got some types, all right, and Tifa's all of them, especially short-haired Tifa. Let's go. Oh man, love me some Final Fantasy. Anyway, so this does stack up quite well against the other Final Fantasies. Yeah. Yeah, God, how old was I? I was probably in middle school when Final Fantasy VII came out. And I actually remember I had just gotten a PlayStation 1, and one of the first games I got was Spyro the Dragon. And I was hanging out over at a friend's house, and he had just gotten a game, Final Fantasy VII. And we basically like played both of the games over at his house, and he just did not really enjoy / get Final Fantasy VII, and I was immediately enthralled in it. And it is the only game I have ever traded somebody, and I remember it to this day, like, God, I don't know, 25 years later, that I traded away a game that was a gift from my parents, and I kind of felt low-key guilty about it, but also Final Fantasy VII became one of my favorite games of all time, and cemented the Final Fantasy franchise as something that I would pretty much always play. So I have like really weird memories associated with it, because it's just like, yeah, I traded it and fell absolutely in love with it, and yeah, it was just great. Just great. Oh God, I was just about to take another drink. Like, what if all of you guys just got fucking roasted? God, that's so good. Love me that Ifrit power. But yeah, 9 is great. And also it's really fun because it is a return to the sort of medieval era of Final Fantasy, as opposed to the sort of more futuristic version. And it's got it's the word I would give it most if I could is whimsical. It's very fun and light and interesting, but also deals with surprisingly dark themes, like for many of the main characters. And so it's a very interesting blend of like light and dark. Yeah, it is good shit. It's good shit.
Forgive me, my lord.
We can also join you on the anime discussion. I put in a command.
It really is you.
Damn man, let's go. You know, if you want, you can roast my taste in anime. There's my mostly up-to-date Mal. I guess it's probably missing a few things from last season, but you know, listen. With the caveat that I grade on the grading scale that my anime list actually says. So 5 is actually average, 6 is fine. So there's a lot of shows that might have a 5 or a 6 or a 7, and that's not the American grading system 5 or 6 or 7 out of 10. That is average, fine, and good.
And
so it's actually a pretty reasonable bell curve.
We left before the Empire could
but
make
it's important to state that because there's a lot of stuff that's in 7 that I literally am like, yeah, it's a good show. It's a 7 because 7 is good. 7 is good, not bad.
There is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings.
I think I updated it to my Vtuber.
We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Ah, yes.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
It's my old VTuber profile. Well,
you mean my mother?
We can update that later.
But it doesn't make sense.
Yes. Code Geass, still a masterpiece. Even if it has some janky garbage in it, it's still incredible and has one of the best and most poignant endings of anime, like, of all time. Oh, it's so good.
No offense, my lord. Yeah. But in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm.
Every single Fate series above 7. Listen, Fate Zero is fucking fantastic. Okay, Fate Zero is incredible. I don't think I rated Grand Order above a 7.
The Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown.
I don't think I rated Apocrypha above a 7 either.
Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
So Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp.
I take it that you're not a Fate enjoyer. I mean, which is understandable.
Make ready.
Make ready.
This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else.
This guy had a big glow up too.
If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims.
This man had an absolute baby face. What did I rate that? I feel like I rated it a 6 or a 5.
We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this.
Please indulge me.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping.
5, okay, average. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
Let's go. The only truly good thing about Grand Blue is that it has Sawashiro Miyuki voice acting in it, because she's my, like, voice acting goddess. I love every single character that she voices. Watched that show when it came out and fell in love with the outro and followed the artist Haruhi. Started listening to her album, which the song was on, and she hasn't performed live. I'm literally fucking years, but I have like 10,000 listens to every song. I mean, listen, an average or bad show can still have an absolute fucking banger of a soundtrack. That's okay, dude. I have an anime playlist that I put on for road trips that literally spans 30 years worth of anime. Like, stuff from the early 90s, all the way up to present. Yeah, hell yeah. Dude, anime intros are built fucking different, okay? They're just so good. They're just so good. I can't. I actually can't. Anime intros are just like, God damn. But listen, I don't know. Maybe are you starting alphabetically, because there's lots of Fate subdivisions, and I checked, and I only have Stay Night and 0 at above a 7, and the rest are 6, 5s, and 4s. My new dead. Yeah, listen. No, it's fine. I own the title of old man. I'm elder millennial is not a joke. The body is old and weak, just like me. Back in my day, we had to buy VHS anime, and it only came out 3 times a year at $40 for 4 episodes. I'm not joking though, seriously. Oh, that's okay. I get called grandpa by like several of my viewers. They call me Gramps or Grampire or Grandpa, so you know, listen, it's fine. I own it, you know, it's part of my brand. There's no I think people are surprised if I don't start talking about specific things like timelines. Gramps, yeah. If I don't start talking about specific things like timelines, I feel like I have a fairly youthful voice, and I talk like a younger person somewhat because I still keep up with internet slang, memes, references, all that shit for the most part. And obviously I'm streaming on Twitch of all places, but yeah, no, I'm old. It's yeah. So that's part of my brand too, is I can talk for an infinite amount of time because I've lived through the dark times of the internet. I was around before the internet, okay? And we're not counting that fucking DARPA shit that like wasn't really the internet, but it just kind of was. Listen, that's why I just want to become the greatest anime boy of all time, because then it doesn't matter. I'm a timeless vampire. Let's go. Hell yeah. Dude, I'm so excited for your debut. I love the idea of a group of like mythological like monsters and creatures as like a group. I think that's so cool. I'm all about it. We're getting soft tacos later. You're so nervous? Aw, you don't have to be nervous. Have you done much streaming before, or is this gonna be like real debut? Listen, if you're willing to adopt, you know, I might apply. So I'm a vampire. I'm a new age vampire though. You know, I'm a digital vampire. You stream for 2 years? Oh, you're fine. You got this. Easy clap. Easy clap. There you go. Nice. Yes, my live 2D's in the works. Should be done, you know, any day now, in theory. What? Let me just slide into your DMs real quick. Listen, you're already in my DMs. We were talking this afternoon. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I think it's really cool. My past content creation experience, I've been streaming for, gosh, I guess like 9 months now. So that's like really not a lot of real streaming experience, but there's that DM. I used to be a member of and then later run a podcast for Guild Wars 2 that I was part of that for, gosh, I think like 6 years, maybe, yeah, like 6 or 7 years. You'll be here to watch all my streams in the future. Well, listen, we appreciate any streams that you can be here for. And yeah, so I have a lot of experience with just talking and rambling about random shit forever. But not any experience on the like marketing side of things or all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, it's sort of a weird thing. I don't know, the weird jumble. And then I'm a software engineer by day for the moment anyway. So I'm an old man with weird arcane technological knowledge and decades of anime memes and video games. I'm an eclectic collection of random stuff, random digital stuff. That's why the digital vampire felt so apt.